the mining industry is stabilising. That's despite the strikes that have plagued the sector. Minerals and Energy Minister Susan Shabangu says there's been some progress towards dealing with violence and socio-economic problems in the sector. Mining analyst Peter Major is in our Cape Town studio this morning. He's joining us live now to discuss the situation in the mining sector. Peter, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. Things are not looking good for South Africa's mining sector at the moment, are they?
No, unfortunately it's not, Dan, and it's the local environment that's looking the gloomiest. Metal prices aren't at the crazy levels they were a few years ago, but they're still pretty high. There's still a lot of liquidity, a lot of foreign investment that's looking for places to put their money, but we're not on the horizon anymore, and it's all because of our local environment. It's just too unstable here, and no one wants to risk his money where it's unstable, and the poor mining companies, they're grappling with every issue except mining. You know, they're having to grapple with all kinds of socio-economic issues, and they're having to grapple with a union that has a different set of regulations and constitution to go by than the rest of the citizens here. And yeah, it's a gloomy environment, and it's almost impossible to operate underground mines in this environment.
You don't think even the current government-led forum that's led by the Deputy President, Kgalema Motlanthe, is helping? Because they've been meeting in Pretoria. Minerals and Energy Minister Susan Shabangu believes that things are stabilising.
You know, I hate using a trite phrase, but it's a Band-Aid on a leg or a body that's eaten up with gangrene. So yes, it's helping a little bit, but it's not addressing how did we get to where we are today. Is this democracy out of control? You know, can one man influence 70 and 80,000 people to go on an unreasonable strike that's not benefiting anybody? And we're not even sure if 70, 80,000 people really want to be on strike. You know, there's not a proper secret ballot. We know there's a lot of intimidation. And is everything this union doing, is it legal? Does it fit under our Constitution? Because there's a lot of cases to be made that there wasn't a legitimate democratic vote, that there is intimidation, that people are being prevented from working here. And we know in a lot of countries you have a right to work law, but I don't see where people have the right to work here. They can be threatened, intimidated, they can just be prevented. So this isn't proper democracy that we all thought we voted for in '94. And that's Peter, the environment that's causing.
But Peter, I think AMCU would argue otherwise, because they would say it's their own members who have given them the mandate to go on strike. But just to talk about how things are, in the front page of Business Day this morning, we've got a story about Implats thinking of mechanizing, abandoning a key project, the Leoko project. That's about 11 billion rand of a project that might go away. They're also looking at possibly mechanizing 3 of their new shafts in Rustenburg. This means more jobs, thousands more jobs are going to be lost. Do you think the mining sector is going to go more for mechanization now in the wake of what's going on currently with the AMCU-led strike?
Yes. Unfortunately for South Africa, yes. No investment wants to go into underground mines. You can maybe get some investment if you make a case for an open pit or a highly mechanized mine. And so, yes, the mining companies are all focusing on mechanization, and it's not always a good long-term solution, but it's a short, medium-term solution. It does the country very, very little good, because the more you mechanize, the more thousands of people are out of work, and the more platinum that you sterilize, the more gold that you sterilize. So with mechanization, you're picking the eyes of the highest grade. You're spending all that money on highly expensive equipment that comes from overseas. So it's not doing the country any good, but it's the only way the mines can survive. It's either that or they're going to close the mine completely and lose tens of billions of dollars of investment. And there's tens of billions of national wealth in those shafts, in those mines.
Thank you very much. That's mining analyst Peter Major, live from our studios in Cape Town.
Know more about your world.
enca.com.